So, everything came in from TRZ today. I'm gonna show you guys something though. So when you buy their rack kit, everything that they sell, you can convert over a regular subframe with. This is something that I didn't need these, but I ordered them anyway because I want to show them to you guys. So when you buy their kit, all of this stuff is to convert a stock subframe. This is something they came out with lately that's really fucking badass and cool. It bolts into here, and then this comes over to the subframe. Here, I'll show you over here on the stock subframe. John Odom. Mr. John Odom, I'll call you right back.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Why John Odom's calling me? Anyway, so you can actually cut the original shock part out, bolt this in. This may be for the other side, bet it is. But anyway, it bolts in, and then you just weld, it does go the other side. Yeah. Let's see, it goes right over here. And you literally just you cut this out, put that in, and weld this to here. And then you can convert your factory subframe to a coilover front end. Which I thought was pretty fucking slick. Plus, this one I've already put part of it on there, but that goes down, you trim it down to bolt the rack on. They give you the pipe to support the other part of the rack. You cut it down to where it needs to be. This is why I run TRZ stuff. They just make it really easy to use it. And top quality stuff. So, one of the reasons I changed this over, because you see I had all the TRZ control arms before, all the stuff that I had that came off the old Reaper, but I couldn't use my Strange brakes. Plus, those are a drop spindle that's already got the bump steer built into it. The reason this arm is so low is it takes the bump steer out of the car. Those of you that do not know what bump steer is, when the car raises up, has a tendency to pull the wheels in. This eliminates the bump steer to where when the car sets back down, the tires set back down, they don't go all over the place. Very, very, very important thing if you want to keep your car in one piece. So, and since the last time I bought here, they came out with their own billet spindle, 2-inch drop billet spindle. So, and believe it or not, I'm still not that far off my budget because I sold that stuff for half of the cost of this, 50% of it. So, and I get to use my brakes. So the thing to keep in mind here is for me to be able to use my Strange brakes and I have to buy another set of brakes, which would have been $1,200. I bought all the TRZ stuff, sold the old stuff off of it, and now I get to use my brakes. So believe it or not, guys, it would have been a bust. And I got this brand new stuff, and I got these cool ass billet drop spindles. So it's all mocked up on there. We're waiting on the shocks to come in, and I can button the rest of the front end up. So, I don't know, did I show anybody my dash I got in here? We'll paint that dash black. Especially with the carbon fiber in there, it just looks funny. These are all the gauges, used gauges that came out of a 69 clutch that came out of my brother's car. And yes, I had a Holley dash. I could have put a Holley dash in it. I had the bezel. I had everything to do with it. Was actually in this car or I bought for this car. But believe it or not, guys, I'm still trying to keep that budget in mind thing. So, and really, I don't think I've spent, how much money have I spent?
I'm not sure.
I think with the exhaust and everything, I've still only spent like $3,500.
That sounds.
And that's with the exhaust. You know, I had the headers. So, even though one guy made the comment, that motor cost more than what my car's worth. Well, brother, you need to get you a better car because that fucking motor, matter of fact, over that, I called Mike Henson and said, Mike Henson, if you were going to build this motor just like this for somebody walking in the door what would they be looking at? Now, I'm not counting the blower, but with all brand new stuff, starting from scratch, he said, oh, somewhere, depending on what all they wanted, somewhere between, 13 and 7 or 12 and $14,000. So think about it. By the time you buy the blower shop blower, which is about, I think, $4,700. So, guys, you're talking about the ability with this 8mm drive. This thing has the ability, if I want to spin the blower up, which of course I'm going to, see the size of that pulley. I'm gonna spin her on up. But you're talking about under 20 grand for 1,000 horsepower. Between 850 and 1,000 horsepower, depending on how fast you want to spin the blower up. So you can't even buy an LS crate motor for that. So to me, I still think this is still a pretty good budget-minded build, and that's buying everything brand new. I mean, it's new block, blah 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 blah. That's buying it brand new. That's not talking about if you just bought a new short block and found you a good deal on a set of cylinder heads or something like that. So I put the Terminator X on it. So everybody knows what these things cost. They're pretty fucking reasonable. And we're fixing to have a dry nitrous plate with a really cool deal that Dave Vassar's making right now, which will make this thing where it'll have the ability to make 1,300 horsepower, and still drive it on pump gas and be able to cruise it and have a good time. Because it does have a 700 R4 in it. Now, whether the 700 R4, which I called my buddy Aaron Mick and said, hey, what do you think of this transmission good for 850? He goes, well, he said, how much more than that you got to put in? I said, I don't know. So transmission's rated for 850. I'm gonna push it to 1,200. If something happens to it, well, we'll deal with that later. But I already told everybody about my precision shifter. This is one thing that I don't care what the budget is. I will have this. I will have a precision shifter, and I do in every car. Now he's come out with these super lightweight brackets, which those stainless brackets are kind of heavy. But I love these shifters, and I really don't give a shit what the budget is. And it's anodized with blue highlights. God, I love these shifters. So, getting there. One little step at a time. I am about to blow my budget by buying a houndstooth interior for it, but it is what it is. And once again, guys, the car is not for sale. The private messages wanting to buy the car right now. Well, I say it's not for sale. You come up with enough money and I don't finish it, I mean, come on. But as you can see, it's going to be a budget build. But this car's got a lot of really, really nice parts that you don't have to do for yours. You don't have to do a chrome moly subframe. I just showed you take a TRZ kit and have the same working suspension that I have, only a little heavier. So, until next time.